hello, my friends, my family, my fellow veterans, my fellow artists, my fellow voters, and my fellow actors. But one thing I have failed to mention in all of my past is my fellow cancer survivors. Something that's private and I haven't really shared, but I'm 7 years in survival and keeping an eye on it. Anyway, so yeah, there you go, they don't. And this guy right here, he's been my saving grace for all of that. Yeah. There you go. Lay down. There you go. You're getting your video now, boy. You're getting your video. There you go. There you go. Get comfortable. Lay down. Lay down. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. So, whew. I was sick for a long time, so I haven't really, I was really sick, and I'm out here on a boat, so I did a lot of my, I studied alternative medicine, and he's not interested in, it's hot today, it's over 100 degrees here, and he's kind of going through shedding, but anyway, I've also been studying Pinnacle, and learning how to edit, so this will probably be edited. I have a show right now. Now, some of my collectors, you travel from Florida to the north, Boston, New York, Jersey, and if you swing into Richmond Hill, Georgia, I have an exhibit at the City Center Art Gallery. It's a pretty big show. There's other artists there too. So stop in. You can always text me or email me. Also, there's a new website that I had to work on because my old website was, the person that designed my website is no longer available, so I couldn't get a hold of anybody, so I had to create my own website, which you'll see at the bottom of the screen here because now I know how to edit. I've been out on the water. I had to replace, for you boaters, you wanted any information, I had to replace my alternator, my transmission went, I spent 30 days working on that, which lowered my resistance, which made me sick, and then I had the riser elbows. Riser elbows in a boat are like a muffler in a car, and it's exhaust, but it's waterproof and they're very expensive. So that's all been replaced. I've traveled out on the ocean, and I've been painting, and I play every week, usually at on the docks or at a restaurant or whatnot. And when I go up to Rhode Island, I'll be playing up there again. So I've got a couple of paintings here too that I've been working on. I started this one about 30 years ago. Now I don't usually show my my process, but this is all out of my head. I can't touch it because it's still wet, but I wanted to share with my fellow artists a little bit of my process. This painting started completely different, and I will often have, I currently have like 20 paintings that are in the warehouse that I started, never finished, so I go back to them once in a while. Anyway, what I plan on doing with this one is I plan on putting a maybe a deer's head going into it with antlers, and the next thing that I'm planning on doing is a series of animals. A friend of mine's a taxidermist, and he's got painting pieces, like a museum of pieces, and I plan on immortalizing them into canvas. It's just a thought that I have to do a series of unique animals from around the world. Speaking of which, in the South, I have recently put up a new series on my website called Spanish Marsh Series, and this is one that I just finished here. This is about 150 hours into this particular painting. It's very detailed and very intricate, and I'll use a 00 brush often. But I always start with a big brush and end up with a little brush, which is how I teach my students to paint. So Kibo's going to be 12 years old in August. He's a good boy, slowing down like his daddy here. I'm sorry that I haven't really done any new blogs, and I have received a lot of emails from you folks, my friends, and I thank you so much for my subscribers that haven't heard from me, and some of you know that I battle cancer and you were concerned, so I apologize for that. You can always text me or email me, and I will respond. I will always respond. So the boat's running really good. It's hot down here. I'm going to be heading north very soon. Let's see what else. We've had a lot of gators. There's been a lot of gators around. I have to keep a real close eye on Kibo when I walk them. And 3 dogs here have been bitten by poisonous snakes. Now, there's a law in Georgia that says you can't kill a gator or a poisonous snake. So it's kind of scary. I will tell you, if something tries to kill Kibo, it's going down before Kibo gets attacked. So, my fellow boaters, it's a good boating season. Oh, here's a little now, some of you wonder how AC works on a boat. It's not like at your house where you can put an air conditioner in a window and run it. What an air conditioning unit does on a boat is it sucks the water out of the ocean. It runs it through a system called a heat pump, which is also an air conditioner and a heater, and it takes the cool out of the water, and it's got Freon too, so it brings it into the air. And in the colder months, what it does is it takes the heat out of the water. So when the water gets really cold, it's not as efficient, and the water, when it gets really hot, it's not as efficient. Well, the water comes through the boat, and what happens is you have barnacles, and barnacles like to travel. So you have to have, in the south, when the water is hotter, you have to have your boat bottom cleaned every 3 to 4 weeks, or it clogs the holes and you lose your air conditioning. The other thing that happens is you have to have your boat bottom cleaned every 3 to 4 weeks, or it clogs the holes and you lose your air conditioning. The other thing that happens is the hose that goes through a filtration system, and you have to clean, it's called the strainer. You have to clean the strainer out. If you don't clean that strainer out, it'll also clog up the system because you get mud and algae and whatnot. But it goes through a filtration system, and you have to clean, it's called the strainer. You have to clean the strainer out. If you don't clean that strainer out, it'll also clog up the system because you get mud and algae and whatnot. But barnacles like to travel up through the hose. So what I did is, because my boat bottom was getting cleaned and I still wasn't getting good water flow, I got a kitchen drain, snake they call it. And I took the hose off and I ran it all the way down, and it cleaned out all of the barnacles. So now I've got good air conditioning again. So I know there's more things that I want to say, but they're not coming to mind. So I thank you once again, and I'm sorry. I will try to keep at least once a month to do a post. I also have a new guitar here. This is a Martin. For years I looked for. For years I looked for a guitar an acoustic guitar that played like my SG Electric. This is a Martin SC10E. and it's got a cutout in the bottom here, and in the back it's even got a curved notch so that you can play down on these frets. So it's a great guitar. It's got a great sound, and I am putting some of my music down. I've already got a few. I've written some songs, but I've also got some songs that will soon be on the YouTube channel here also. So please feel free to subscribe. And when you go to my website, and oh, by the way, that's a great hook. It's a ceiling hook for your guitar. One of the tough things is when you feel like playing, sometimes it's just a pain to open up your case and to tune it. And right here, it's available. I play it every day. And it's hanging like it does in the guitar stores, so it doesn't get warped. It's really in good shape. It's a great guitar. It's about 8 months old. Anyway, so subscribe to my YouTube channel here, and subscribe to my website, and you'll get to see, you get personal invites to art shows like this one that I just had. You'll also get really cool notices when I put a new painting on. You will never get any junk. I do not try to sell anything. I do not try to sell my paintings. As a matter of fact, if you go to my website, there is no price on any of my paintings. And for any of my fellow artists out there that are professional level like I am, it's not a good idea to put your prices on your paintings online, because galleries don't really like that. The high-end galleries don't like to have your prices on your artwork online, because they put their own prices on in the galleries, and it also isolates the commerce of it all. So if anybody wants to buy any of my paintings, you simply go to my website, LawrenceOlearyJR.art, LawrenceOlearyJR.art, and send me an email right from my website. Say, hey, I'm interested in this piece. How much is it? I live so and so. What would the shipping cost be? Do you want it framed? Do you want it unframed? Anyway, so it's a little lengthy. I got a little wordy. I hope that it didn't bore you. When you go to my website, please feel free to make a comment. I review comments and I accept comments. I'd like to know what you think. You know, if there's certain paintings that inspire you, I would love to hear what you think. I'm also writing a book on art, on my art, and it's 10 years in the makings, but I'm already up to like 2,500 words and images. It'll be a great book, but I'm meticulous about it being perfect. So if you subscribe to my website, LawrenceOlearyJR.art, you will be notified when that book becomes available. So my friends, my family, love you all, my fellow boaters, my fellow musicians, my fellow actors, my fellow veterans, thank you again. When we put our hand up and give the oath, it never expires. We're always here for our fellow Americans. So I thank you all for listening, and all of you people battling cancer. I was supposed to be gone a few years ago. I'm living the life. I don't live like I've got cancer. I live like every day is a gift. That's why they call it the present.